there's a rather tired trope in science fiction and fantasy, particularly in gaming. This idea of an ancient species or an ancient civilization or an ancient power of some kind that left all these fabulous ruins everywhere and had all sorts of lost knowledge and so on. If you're in an implicit or explicit post-apocalyptic setting, this might make sense, where everything has been lost to an extent. And there is an extent to which normally we regard people from past ages as total retards. And we shouldn't. Like, Dark Ages stonemasonry was amazing. We're still not entirely sure how the pyramids were built, though we're getting an idea. Yeah, people in the past could do amazing, wonderful things in some cases that we can't do or have only recently learned how to do. Like the Romans had a form of concrete that would last much longer than the concrete that we make today and could even set underwater, and which got stronger over time, not weaker. Yeah, that's something we're only just really understanding. So there's incidents, there's particular things in which older civilizations, past civilizations might exceed us, but in almost every imaginable way, our modern society, and most modern in terms of whatever game setting you're talking about, most modern societies there should far outstrip their predecessors in most arenas. There might be some genuinely lost knowledge, but by and large, compared to us now, the civilizations in the past were trash. They didn't know what germs were. They wiped their ass with their hand, right? They lived in huts made out of poo. These aren't amazing, wonderful people, particularly, at least not in terms of knowledge. You know, they might have been enduring, they might have been strong in some ways, but, you know, they didn't really have dentistry, or surgery, or proper sewerage, or any of the things that we take kind of for granted now. Our society, in practically every way, is far better, safer, more peaceful than anything that came before it. So it might be an idea to kind of retire some aspects of this trope. The woke people, I guess, might either object or support that. I'm not entirely sure which way they'd go. Some seem to think that ancient wisdom has some validity of its own, even though it's not true. You know, those sorts of things. And others revere ancient cultures in a lot of ways, and decry modernity and colonialism and all the rest of it. So I don't know. I just think it's a tired, old, nostalgic trope that to me smacks of political incorrectness in its own way, I suppose, because of this veneration of what there was in the past, this nostalgia which lends itself to nationalism and all kinds of other nasty stuff. I'd rather see something that I think is missing from a lot of fiction, and that is hope. You know, Star Trek was the only thing that ever really had a sense of hopefulness, a sense of the future being better than today, although that's been kind of squandered and thrown away, certainly with Discovery and possibly before that. You know, DS9 was good because it was a contrast with the rest of Trek, but since then everything's taken on this kind of darker tone. It would be nice to have something more optimistic, that's appreciative of modernity or optimistic about the future, rather than this kind of nostalgic harkening back to the glorious days of the Aryan people, which seems to be the subtext to a lot of this to me, but what do I know?